Hi everyone, I'm meteorologist Valerie Mills. Thanks for logging on to My Fox Hurricane, where we are tracking a new area of interest down in the Caribbean. Moderate odds for this to develop over the next 7 days. We've got those chances, about 40%, that we see something form. And so at this point, we're watching for a general area of low pressure to start to develop a little bit more towards the middle and especially the end of this upcoming week. So here we have our GFS model. You can kind of see that area of low pressure starting to form somewhere in the southern central Caribbean and kind of meander around far to the south and the east of the Yucatan Peninsula. And so this is the general area right in that orange polygon. And we are starting to see some of our models picking up on a potential area of low pressure trying to form a little bit. And that's going to be likely more into this upcoming weekend. So here we see it on our Fox model. Nothing really to see through the next couple of days, just some disorganized thunderstorms. But then we start to see things looking a little bit more impressive as far as some deep convection starting to develop come Thursday and into Friday. And so maybe on the back half of that, that's where we start to see some closed center of circulation forming there in the Caribbean. So that is one of the areas that we would typically watch at this point in the hurricane season for development. So it's really right on par, and you can see how warm the waters are in that area. We're talking about 86, so that's plenty of heat for a tropical system to work with. We get up into the Gulf, much less favorable water temperatures there, 77 even just off the coast of North Florida, and some low 80s elsewhere. And so 80 degrees, that's the threshold that we need for a tropical system. But these mid and upper 80s, plenty of warmth for that area to start to work with. And so the big picture that we'll be watching over the next couple of days is really things pretty favorable for that area. That is thanks to this upper high that's basically going to shield the Caribbean from some of that stronger, less favorable wind shear. We're watching this upper low kind of right over the Yucatan start to break down. And so the question is where are some of these features by the time this area of low pressure gets a little bit more organized? So this is looking ahead to Friday morning. We're going to be tracking a strong cold front that drops pretty far south and extends into parts of the Gulf of Mexico. So this is kind of going to act as a blocker from this getting too far into these areas. So there's that broad pressure. We're starting to see that form a lot of moisture across the Caribbean, but then that drier air that it will start to bump up against. And so that could work against it and kind of inhibit some development. And so all of these little key factors we'll be watching the next couple of days to see the timing of where that system sets up and what some of the other features as far as where the high pressure will be, where that cold front will be as that system gets a little bit more organized later this week. But there you see the threat from November 13th through the 19th. And even if this area develops, maybe it just brings some increased rain to parts of the Caribbean islands up toward Cuba as well. And Cuba just coming off the landfall from Rafael, which was briefly able to strengthen into a major hurricane in the Gulf of Mexico. So the next name in line, that would be Sara here, and the countdown continues as we are just under 3 weeks away from the official end of this hurricane season. We'll continue to watch that Caribbean area, and we'll have more updates to come right here on My Fox Hurricane.